We're about to have a big supply chain crisis. There are going to be empty shelves all across America. So what do we stock up on right now? I'm not talking panic buying like during COVID. I mean, responsibly stocking up on things that might not be available, but also being conscious of the fact that your neighbors are also going to need to stock up on things. Don't be those people in July 2020 that bought all of the hand sanitizer and then stood on the corner selling it for 10 times the price. We're not doing that. We're taking care of our communities right now. We're looking out for each other because we know that the programs and policies that are supposed to be in place from the government to do that, to take care of the most vulnerable, they've all been obliterated. There's no safety nets in America right now. It's up to us to take care of our neighbors. But things are about to get real tight. I just did a video where I talked about folks from the Port Authority in Seattle and economics experts and how they were saying it's going to hit us in a couple of weeks. It may not look that bad yet, but in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's going to be a rough scene. So are there things we should be stocking up on that we need that might not be available? Again, I don't mean hoarding things. I don't mean seeing this as an opportunity for you to make a big profit off of people who are struggling. Don't be that person. Sorry if I'm chastising y'all. None of you are the folks who would do that, but I gotta say it. But there are very real things that we need to make sure we have on hand because very soon they might not be available, or they might be double or triple the cost. As a coffee addict, I'm immediately thinking about the fact that coffee has already doubled in price since Trump came into office. It's probably going to be one of the things that I buy and I put in vacuum sealed bags and I put in the freezer because you can freeze coffee for up to a year. I just want to have a little bit on reserve in case it becomes unavailable because I can't handle caffeine withdrawal. But there's other things like medication, or my sister was saying, what about your CPAP supplies? Lots of medical equipment is made in China and may be harder to get. So if there are important medical supplies that you need, you might consider buying more of them now. What about KN95 masks? But even things like ibuprofen, Band-Aids. Oh, I think America's about to realize how much of our stuff is made in China. We're about to realize how dependent we are on imports from China. So what's on your list? What do you think would be responsible to collect a little bit more of right now before those things might potentially become unavailable? I obviously think it's a good idea for everybody to have some basics on hand, right? Beans, rice, gallons of water. I sound like a prepper, and that's a little bit wild. But this is the America that we have right now, y'all. This is what Donald Trump has done to us. We are scrambling to make sure that we have basic necessities in the wealthiest country in the world in 2025. Not because of any global pandemic, not because of any international crisis, entirely because of Donald Trump's whims. Entirely because of his cruel, chaotic vision of how he wants to run America. Run it right into the fucking ground. Okay, I'm going to quote from this article from MSN. As 2025 barrels forward, a silent crisis is brewing on America's shores, one that's about to hit consumers where it hurts. Prices are rising, shelves are thinning, and behind it all is a supply chain unraveling in real time. Container traffic has plunged 27% since March, with some terminals reporting zero inbound ships. New tariffs, collapsing import volumes, and snarled logistics are turning major U.S. ports into ghost towns. They are signaling a new wave of shortages and inflation that could soon reach every household in America. So the author of this piece, Emily Allard, here's what she's recommending you stock up on, and then I would love to hear what you're stocking up on, and I'll tell you some of my thoughts as well. She says non-perishable items like canned goods and dry staples, paper products like toilet paper and paper towels, basic cleaning supplies. The next one is medical supplies and over-the-counter medications. I would also argue you should have your prescriptions filled. You should have a good supply of your prescriptions on hand. If you're able to get a larger supply, put a portion of it in your bug-out bag. This is one my sister mentioned and I hadn't really thought of, pet food. And likewise, pet medications. As we saw during the first supply chain crisis, anything that you need to care for your baby may be in short supply. That includes formula, and honestly, the way the USDA and FDA are going when it comes to our food safety and inspections, I would just educate yourself about what sources of infant food are safest. I hate to have to say that, but diapers, wipes, things like that. Just going to plug cloth diapers here. Did them with all 4 of my kids. I know not everybody has the capacity or has access to a washer and dryer, but for us, it was really cheap. You buy one set and they last for kid after kid. In general, the more things that you can cut back on, the more things you have that are reusable, the less you will be impacted by this crisis that's about to hit us. The more you use disposable products, the more often you need to purchase something, obviously, the more impacted you're going to be by this. Flashlights, light bulbs, batteries, matches, candles, solar chargers, portable crank radios, battery banks. Those are all good things to think about, especially as we're looking at Musk and Trump destabilizing the electric grid in places, no longer paying for proper maintenance and repairs. Are there any imported foods that are really important to you in your household, like coffee for me? Are you a big tea drinker? I guarantee you tea prices. Any imported goods like wine or olive oil, specialty foods, spices. So what else? What is on your list? How can we better prepare in a conscious way that considers our neighbors for this completely artificial crisis that Trump has manufactured, this time of difficulty, deprivation, struggle, and suffering that we don't need to be living through? This did not need to happen. How do we better prepare? How do we prepare for this in a way that cares for our households and is conscious of the community as well?